afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Monday, the start of a new week, and football is finally back this weekend. Thank the Lord. I'm joined, as always, on Mondays by Jimbo and hopefully Chang. I haven't even confirmed with Chang that he's free to do the predictions and recap next season, but hopefully Chang as well. Jimbo, first of all, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Very hot but chilled.
Good, that's what I like to hear. Mr. Chang, how are you over there? Is it hot?
Well, it's a mixture of humid, sort of a musty sort of weather here because it was raining pelters this morning. It was raining cats and dogs in biblical proportions, and somehow or other, the sun came out in midday. So if you can imagine, a drought that was washed away by the morning rain, but now the sun's come up. So it's a kind of a mixture between moist, warm, humid, cold, everything all in one, just like the tropics. And that's kind of what Spurs are facing right now, a kind of bit of everything. Some wins in the preseason, some losses, some outgoings, some incomings, and plenty to talk about and get into as we start the show off.
Yeah, always loads to talk about when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur. Before we crack on, let's have a look who's in the chat. We've got Ty Garvo, the legend, said, hasn't Yves Bissouma given us all something to talk about today? Ange will go ballistic. Yes, I think he will. Bissouma, a.k.a. Balluna, needs to go, says AJ. Said, I don't care where, but we need to get him gone. Absolutely nowhere near the player we thought we were getting, consistently flattering to deceive, not bloody good enough in any conceivable way. AJ with the Monday morning rant, we love to see it. Scott's here, says, hello ladies and gentlemen, hard to see how Bissouma can play the first game of the season after what he's done. Yeah, big up Scott. Designed to win, says Maddison and Biss have picked up where they left off last season. Poor. Tigaro saying, morning, evening, Spurs faithful, big up to you. Big up to you, GBC fans, saying our players are disappointing. Yeah, I don't think I can really argue with that. Big up, Ronnie. Hope you're doing good. And woo, Phil P. Hope you're well. Lovely to see you, sir. It's nice and hot and cool today in the Netherlands. It's very, very, very hot here in Kent today. Really muggy and warm. Barbaric Disdain says, good afternoon to the dynamic trio. I was going to say hello to Jimbo individually, but I don't know if I can type all those O's in his name. Jimbo! Good morning, Drew Lala. She says, morning, Kate, Jim, Chang, and chat. Wow, Baluma, what was he thinking? One, taking an illegal substance, and two, posting it on his Snapchat with no care in the world regarding consequences. Good news about Mikey Moore. Yep, turned 17 yesterday. Afternoon, Shemtan says, Princess Kate, Sir Jimbo, the youngest looking old man, Mr. Chang. Spurs managers, the gift that keeps on giving. Jose, first game of the Turkish season, booked first 20 minutes and Conte complaining. Yeah. Big up to Tigaro, very generously has just gifted 5 just to go with Love Spurs memberships. Thank you so much. It's massively appreciated, as always, Tigaro. It was good to be on stream with you yesterday, and I hope you're well. And Ian Meff's here as well, says afternoon, good evening, Chang. I'm just going to see if I can see who those memberships went to. They went to Phil P, Barbaric Disdain, Drew Lala, Daniel Coys, and Lee Smithy Smith. So thank you so much, Tigara, you absolute legend. Hello all, big up Kate, Jimbo, and Chang. Big up Harmless Potato. And AJ's calling Tigaro a ledge. I'm going to try and get a member show done very soon so you can make use of your memberships and come in and have a chat with us all. But there's only one place to start, Jimbo. It's not the best place to start because it's bad publicity, once again, from a player who we've kind of had high hopes for this pre-season. Bissouma posted a video on his Snapchat of him inhaling from a balloon. He's since come out and said, I want to apologise for these videos. There was severe lack of judgment. I understand how serious this is and the health risks involved, and I also take my responsibility as a footballer and role model very seriously. with Ange being how he is, Jimbo, and the fact he doesn't like any bad apples in the team. Is there any way back from Bissouma here? I mean, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that we've all done it, right? I know we're not all professional footballers. We've all done it. It's a stupid thing to do. But, you know, why? Someone I read somewhere today online that he was out till 2. He was posting stuff at 2:00 in the morning, the night before the Bayern game, as well. It just looks like to me he's not taking it serious. I mean, I don't. He done the balloon thing, well, to give him a squeaky voice or whatever.
Yeah,
we've all done it. I mean, I've done it a few times, but to be posting it online is just stupid. You know, I give up with some of these players. They're just so dumb. You know, they're clever enough to be able to go and earn like $100,000 a week, but stupid enough to go and put something like that online. It don't make sense to me. But do you know what? He might have done us a favour because it might end up we're going to push him out the door. So he could have done us a favour because he's been very underwhelming. You know, he even when he has good games and then he goes on a bad run and has bad games, he's not the player. As someone, I think it was AJ just put it, was it, or someone put it?
Yeah.
He's not the player we thought we were getting. You know, what's AJ said? It wasn't helium. It was
nitrous oxide.
Well, he's just an idiot, a complete and utter idiot. There's no, you can't. I mean, I love to stick up for the players when they make mistakes, but he's just dumb. That's all you can say about him. And Nick said this morning about they should just rip up his contract. I don't agree with that because of the money side of it. Even if they only got 20 million for him, you know, but you don't want him around because he's going to be a bad influence on the younger players. So I don't know what to say about him, Kate. He's just stupid a week before the season starts.
Yeah, exactly. Not what we need
No.
right before the start of the season. I mean, Chang, what's your thoughts on it?
The first thing that comes to mind when I saw that clip, I'm wondering to myself, what prompted him to even record and post it online to begin with? I mean, if you want to enjoy yourself, you can do so responsibly. If you want to be intoxicated, you want to get high, do whatever that, pushes your buttons, gives you a buzz. I mean, for me, that's sleep. I get loads and loads of sleep, but I don't record, here I am going to bed, or here I am waking up early in the morning to Daisy. So why even record? And on top of recording, why even upload it to begin with? That tells me that this guy has a very serious sort of, I wouldn't say it's a vanity issue, more like an inferiority complex, that he has to show people that he's very laid back, very relaxed, really living it, living the high life. And that for me doesn't sit well in any corporation, any club, whether you are in sports, whether you are a blue collar, white collar, whether you are, just a work from home guy. For me, that has no place in any sort of community. And what he did was very, very wrong. I think he has done irreparable damage, although I will leave it up to Big Ange how to wield the axe, how to, go about disciplining him. But for me right now, if I were to be completely honest, I think he's actually gone ahead of Lo Celso in the pecking order of players to get rid of. I mean, you think about it, Lo Celso, despite, him always picking up injuries, he still has a Copa America and a World Cup to show off. Bissouma has nothing. And now that we've seen him do this, I think it's not too difficult to see why Brighton and Hove Albion were, quick to sell him off to begin with. So, yeah, I mean, this thing right here, this has no place in football. The very fact that he posted it speaks volumes about his insecurities or even his vanity. And this question here by Mr. Ian Meff, this is a very interesting question. I know that if you were to drink and drive in a Muslim country here in Southeast Asia, that gives you 3 months minimum and a suspension of your license. Inhaling substances that gets you high, maybe 2 or even a month behind bars at most, but nothing too serious if you weren't driving or operating heavy machinery while you were intoxicated. But yeah, I mean, even here in Southeast Asia, despite our strict Islamic laws, despite the strict Muslim community and such, you can do things like this behind closed doors in your own free time, away from the public eye, but to then record yourself and upload it to internet, that is really, I mean, more damaging than anyone can ever know. So I will leave it to Big Ange how to deal with him. And the future does not look bright for Bissouma at Tottenham Hotspur.
The thing is, Chang, anytime these footballers do something wrong, it gets out in the papers. And for him to post it on a social media site, I mean, I'm dumbfounded how stupid someone can be. Honestly, I am. But you know what? It's not a bad thing for us, for the club, because it shows the club what he is, If he doesn't get caught, then he'd probably carry on doing stupid things. But now they might get him in and make him knuckle down or I don't know what. But they got to come down heavy on him because it's bad on the club.
I mean, I've just Googled it and it says possession of nitrous oxide can get you up to 2 years in prison, an unlimited fine, or both. Supplying someone else, even your friends, can get you up to 14 years in prison. So, I mean, this is not something to be sniffed at. He's not a child, he's now one of our older players, really. When you think of the youngsters coming in, I mean, someone just put something quite apt. Ian Meth actually put it. He said, for me, the irony of an adult behaving like this when a boy who was 17 yesterday signs his first professional contract can't be overstated. He is an example, not just to kids that watch football. He's an example to the younger players in the squad. And the fact that he thought it was okay to do it and post it says that he's got no respect for this club, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't see any way on this planet he plays for us. I just don't see how he gets back not to be sniffed at.
That's what I said. That was good. You hit that right. I don't think you meant to, did you?
No, I didn't. Talking Tottenham says the Bissouma issue is appalling, and did an interview saying Bissouma needs to be a role model for kids, and the next day was late for training, and now this. For me, he has to go. We saw what happened with Arsenal with the Aubameyang. He kept being late for training. They were savage. They got rid of him. I just don't see a way back for Bissouma from this. Phil P says, I'm upset. He hasn't lived up to expectations after looking so good for Brighton. This is the latest in a growing line of stupid decisions when he should be getting his nut down. Prick. Exactly right. Sorry, big up David Shear's been a member for 8 months as well. Said Jimbo triplets due next month, Cobber. AJ said he's absolutely fuming. He said, annoyed, yes, but mad, no. But this has got me fuming. A friend of mine lost his nephew because of that, and that moron is posting it publicly. I think the fans' reaction is palpable. I think everybody is disappointed and disgusted with this guy. I understand people say he needs a reality check, a kick up the arse. For me, I'd get him out of this club as soon as possible. I just don't see a way back.
What does the stuff do to you if you breathe it in?
Well, I don't know what it does. It gives you a high.
It gets you high. It's sort of, okay, to really understand this, you actually need to try it yourself. But from what I've gathered, it actually gives you a sense of levity, sort of like
floating.
Bloated, exactly bloated, and you find yourself sort of like floating on cloud nine without really taking anything like weed, marijuana,
cloud nine,
cocaine. This is not a substance to trifle with, because dangerous amounts of it can actually lead to you drowning. You can actually sort of drown yourself in this, whereby the nitrous oxide, it takes over all the space in your lungs, and that actually prevents oxygen from getting in. So you're actually drowning yourself while getting high. It's actually one of the more popular ways of going out on a high, as what people say. But stuff is not to be trifled with. And what AJ said earlier about a friend of his whose nephew, overdosed on this and found out way too late the consequences. Yeah, that's what it does to you.
Yeah, it says AJ just sent me a message that says that it's a gas which can induce euphoria, hallucinogenic states, and relaxation when inhaled, can cause long-term neurological, physical damage. I mean, Jacob at United Spurs of America did a brilliant video on the effects of it and cause incontinence, so many different things. And this guy is meant to be an absolute specimen. He's meant to be a top-class athlete. He gets paid hundreds of thousands of pounds, and he's abusing his body. It's as easy as that. And everybody got on Ivan Toney's back when he was found guilty of the betting scandal. For me, this is as bad, if not worse.
No, this is worse for me.
Yeah,
this is worse.
Because he's damaging his body, and not only that, it's illegal behaviour that he thinks is okay to post when he is a role model to so many kids. It's just not something I'd just want around my club. It's a disgrace. I really think it's a disgrace. If he was young, people would say, oh, he's young and dumb, but he's 27 years old. I was pregnant at 27. Do you know what I mean? This guy needs to man up and grow up and stop being such a twat, in my opinion. So I really hope we get rid of him. But to get rid of him now, it's not going to be easy unless we get him sent abroad, I think. But yeah, for me, I don't think there's any way back from this. Rakesh has come in, not seen Rakesh for ages. He says, Jimbo, are we winning the league this time? Love you guys. Big up, Rakesh.
You will find out on Wednesday, Rakesh.
But you can take
my predictions. I'm not going to give them away. I'm not going to give them away now.
Kuva says another side of the facts appears to be it stops but you being a good DM. Very true. This is far worse than a betting issue.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
The really annoying thing is there are people playing it down, excusing it and defending it. Well, they're idiots, sorry. There's no defence, there's no excuse.
AJ, you know me, I defend the players to the hilt. But this is just, I can't get my head around why someone would do it for starters, especially a professional athlete, and then post it online. I mean, how dumb can you get? You know, the thing is, I don't agree that we just rip up his contract. I think they need to try and get something for him, even if it's abroad. Yeah.
No, I don't expect him to be pregnant. I didn't mean manning up. I mean, he needs to own up to his, take responsibility, own up, and he needs to get out of the club. It's because I'm angry. I'm getting tongue-tied. I just hate things like this. I expect it from Chelsea, players at Chelsea doing things like this. Not in my club. I don't like it. I don't want him anywhere near our club. So
yeah, this is 100% right, Drula.
Yeah, and he's trying to change the club. He's got to deal with this. Exactly. He's said all along, their attitude is the most important thing to me. I don't want any bad apples. And then he's got this. I mean, and a week before the season starts, it's just, it's so bloody annoying. If our club has any bollocks about it, it will be sold, put on transfer list with immediate effect. Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's no option. He's got to go. And yeah, so, but I don't, Shem says there's no defense for using a legal substance and posting it on your social media like it's okay. Seems like it's already destroyed most of his brain cells.
Do you know what, Kate? Let me chip in there, right? You know, when he was at Brighton, right? He was up there in the top 10 best players in the Premier League in my opinion. He was phenomenal, right? And he's come to us, and he's never really even hit anywhere near the heights he did at Brighton. So what says that he's not been doing shit like this for a long time?
Yeah.
You know?
Phil says, I'd love to be allowed to go and give the players a talk about how important the club is to us fans, and a one-to-one with Biss would liven him up. Yeah, I'd love Jim to go and talk to him as well about the dangers of doing drugs. I think they live in this bubble that they get so much money. I think they don't know what to do with it, and they just go off the rails. And I'm all for someone who wants to help people. We're very passionate about mental health here, But this was a guy having a laugh, thinking he was funny, doing it for the crack, and it's unacceptable on every single level for me.
The money side of it, Kate, the money side of it is that's just a load of crap, darling. I'm not saying you're speaking crap, but what I'm saying is if you've got a lot of money, right, you can do a lot of things. And it doesn't mean you have to do bad things. You can do a lot of good things. You know, you can go places other people can't go. You know, you can buy things for your house to have for enjoyment that other people can't do. You know, it's the money side of it. It shouldn't come into it because he earns a lot of money. He doesn't know what to do with it. You know.
No, but you do see it. You see it with a lot of famous actors and actresses. They get to a stage where they've got everything and they don't know what to do with their money, so they tend to go drugs, drink, whatever they do. But anyway, it's completely inexcusable. Phil P says substance abuse is terrible. Look at Jim, he's only 36 years old. Is there anyone in here that is in the know with legal matters? I'm sure by doing what he's actually done, he's broken his contract. I would think so. I would think that he's brought the club into disrepute. I would think 100%, but I don't know. I'm sure it will come out in due course.
What did we pay for him? Was it 40 million? Good one.
It was something in the range of only 25, right? 25 to 30 million during Conte's time, I believe. I'm just going to look this up.
Yeah, 25 million initial payment it was, plus add-ons, I think.
So it's not, I mean, if Levy rips his contract up and kicks him out.
So the deal was 30 million pounds in June of 2022 under Conte. 30 million pounds.
Yeah, well, I can tell you something. He won't be playing Monday, Kate. There's no way.
No. Bissouma was caught. Well, he wasn't caught. He posted on his Snapchat him inhaling a balloon of nitrous oxide. And now he sent a really pathetic apology about it. So, yeah, that's what's happened. But I think we'll end it there on Bissouma because it's just winding me up and giving me a bellyache.
I like all these compliments about me being handsome.
I know. I don't know what they're all after. Sorry, Jimbo, I called you uncle. I thought you were 50. Didn't know you were 36. 36, he's 62. Bloody hell, don't start saying that. I'm 16 years younger than Jim, so that'd make me 20, which I'd happily take all day long.
Lucky old me.
Actors are a bit different. I've been at high-profile Hollywood set. It's just mad how the stars get treated, and when the spotlight turns off, nobody cares about them anymore. They can't cope. Yeah. But leaving Bissouma for a minute, obviously, Harry Kane returned to the Tottenham Stadium at the weekend, Saturday night, and we lost 3-2 to Bayern Munich. Chang, what did you make of the game?
Wow, where do I even begin? Okay, I'm just going to start off with the final score first. And the goals that we conceded, not the goals that Kulusevski scored. Again, I cannot state this enough. We really do need a set-piece coach going forward. And not just for scoring, I mean defending. We are leaking goals left, right, center, like nobody's business. I mean, if it wasn't for Romero and Mickey van der Ven coming on in the second half, God knows what the scoreline would have been in our own home ground. That's how bad I thought the defending was in the first half. But yeah, another weekend, another friendly against the same team. We played only 5-6 days ago in midweek, I think, and again conceding stupid, needless goals. Whether you are Vicario trying to play out from the back, a very bad pass to your defenders, they get robbed and we give away a goal. Passing up the back leading to free kicks, which also contributed to us conceding. And looking at the goals that Kulusevski got, don't get me wrong, those are well-taken goals. But if you look at the build-up to those goals, the two Kulusevski goals don't get... they wouldn't be scored if it wasn't for the Bayern mistakes, if it wasn't for defensive lapses in the Bayern defense, whether it's straight from kickoff or in the early stages of the second half. Those goals don't get scored if it wasn't for their mistakes, which does give me some cause for concern going into the season. If that's the only way where we can score goals, in which we profit off from the opposition's mistakes, then I think it's going to be a dry and barren spell for us. Hopefully with Dominic Solanke's signing, which I think we're going to talk about later on in the show, that might be fixed. But this friendly in itself, I mean, the final scoreline did paper over the cracks. I didn't expect us to get more than one goal if the first match in Korea was anything to go by, but good for Kulusevski. I really hope those 2 goals have given him a boost, a much needed boost. And yet again, it's yet another friendly in which the youngsters actually showed a lot more hunger and desire than the first teamers. I think there is something very, very, very wrong right there. That right there, the youngsters actually showing up and actually showing more hunger and desire than a lot of the seniors. That has got me wondering whether we should just be giving starts to the like of Lucas Bergvall, Mikey Moore, Elfie Divine. From the looks of it, maybe even Dane Scarlett or Archie Gray, if and when Big Ange fancies either one of them getting a start in the starting 11. But yeah, this friendly actually raises a lot more questions. Those 2 back-to-back friendlies against Bayern Munich, it raised so much more questions than giving us answers. Hopefully, with the signing of Dominic Solanke and with about 3 weeks left to go in the transfer window, we might actually see a lot more outgoings and possibly 1 or 2 more incomings in some other positions that really need bolstering, like the wingers and also the midfield if Bissouma is on his way out. But yeah, great to see Harry Kane back. Great to see him and Eric Dyer getting recognition, picking up some souvenirs from Ledley King before kickoff. And for me, the clip that really tugged at my heartstrings was seeing Harry Kane reject the offer to lift the trophy at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for Bayern Munich. That in itself shows me just how that tells me where his loyalties lie. Like he wasn't going to be lifting a trophy at our stadium, not wearing our colors. That I think says everything about him. What a role model professional he is, and I really cannot state just how much I wish that this would be his final season with Bayern Munich. Hopefully come next season, after 2 years, 2 spells, 2 seasons at Bayern Munich, he would be ready to come home and link up with Son Heung-min again from next season onwards. But that's still 12 months to come. I'm not even going to go into that just yet. But yeah, this friendly was an eye-opener, and Big Ange has lots and lots of things to get done.
Yeah. I agree, absolutely. Big up to Ben and Sim over at We Are Tottenham TV. Korean legends, absolute celebrity superstars over there. Absolutely love watching the videos. Big up to Kuva, very generously giving away 5 memberships, which went to Destiny 5, Just a Harmless Potato, Ian Meth, Phil Coys, and GBC Fan. This Friday, we're doing a draw for a signed picture by 9 Tottenham legends, including Mickey Hazard. So if you're a member, you're in the draw. So yeah, you 5 are now in the draw as well. So that draw will be Friday during our Premier League predictions show. Big up Potato as well. Kuva saying, I want a refund. Ian Meth got a membership from me.
I thought the prediction show was Wednesday.
No, the predictions on Wednesday is us predicting who's going to win the Premier League. The actual Premier League weekly show starts again this Friday.
Okay.
Vindaloo says Ange hasn't adapted during pre-season. Southgate had dinner with Levy last night. Stop it, Vindaloo. Dave's asking how your shoulder is, Jimbo.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Still not fixed, but it's a lot better than it was. I've got more use in it. So it's still not 100% there. It's going to be a few more months, I think, but I'm getting there. Thanks for asking.
the new song, Dom Dom Dee Dom 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 Solanke. I like it. I like it a lot. Jimbo, what did you make of the game?
Look, I got to disagree with a lot of what Chang said there. Sorry, Chang.
Oh,
Right. These pre-season games, it's not really. Angie's going out there. He's putting people in. He's trying them in different positions, I suppose. For if we have backup, they're chopping and changing on and off the pitch, so they can't really get any rhythm. It's to get some energy in their legs for the beginning of the season. I don't worry about them. I don't worry about the score. You know, it's like good to see the players out there. When we start the season next Monday, right, it's going to be right. Then it's going to be the strongest lineup. Right, they're going to know their jobs, and it's going to kick in. You know, I don't understand why people like get so panicky about the preseason and the friendlies. Honestly, you know, I remember one season we won every single preseason game. We killed everybody, and after 8 games, we were bottom of the league. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just let them get some strength in their bodies, get to know each other. You know, I don't worry about them. I worry about Monday. So I don't think there's any panic. I'm sure they've worked on. We didn't have 3 of the defenders out, and our top 3 defenders weren't on the pitch at the time. I just don't worry about them, Kate. Honestly, to me, it's about them getting match fit. I'm sure all the stuff they've needed to work on, they've worked on in training. And Monday we go out there and we'll be ready. I'm sure he's got them ready. So the pre-season games for me is just for us to watch them. It's nice when we win. You know, it's hard to beat Bayern Munich when you're chopping and changing, you're bringing the youngsters in. I mean, the good thing about it for me was the youngsters really, really shone. You know, they showed that they got no fear. They're not scared to get stuck in, even when there was an argument. You know, a couple of the youngsters were in there as well. It's all about just, you know, getting strong for the beginning of the season for me. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, I do hear you. I've still got my concerns about the fact that we're being cut open in midfield and there's so much space. I don't think 2 inverted wing backs is going to work every game. But there is a lot of people saying that in season 2, Ange tends to do the tweaks. Maybe he hasn't done it in pre-season, but I also do agree to an extent that the pre-season's getting a match fit. However, this goes back to Solanke, which I'm going to go on to next, about the fact he hasn't had a pre-season with us. You can call it fake positivity as much as you want. I mean, we could just sit here and say it's all a shambles, it's a mess, and we're going to lose every game.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, why it's fake positivity. You know, the pre-season games isn't about going out there and winning and winning and winning. That starts on Monday, right? It's about Ange getting to know the players, right? Putting them in positions where they're maybe going to be backups as well, you know, to see what they're like if they can do it. You know, do you think that Kulusevski is going to be a false 9 all through the season? Of course he's not.
Well, I hope so.
He's going to be in midfield. I reckon he's going to be in midfield and on the right. You know, he's just trying things out. That's what it's all about him learning about the players, what they're good at, what they're not good at, what positions they can back up in if we get injuries. So it's getting them strong for the first game of the season. You know, it's not about going out there and beating Bayern Munich twice. As much as I wanted us to beat them twice, it's not all about that. You know, it's about him and the players getting to know each other, what they can do, what they can't do, and getting match fit for the beginning of the season. The real test starts Monday.
Exactly. What I will say is, forgetting that we're all on YouTube, the definition of a fan is supporting your team no matter what. It's being fanatical about your team. Now, some people choose to go on YouTube and be analysts, financial analysts, coaches, claim they know how to run a football club, whatever they want to do, and that's fine. I don't claim to be any of those things. My channel is a fan channel where we speak as fans. If you want to call that deluded positivity, whatever you want to call it, It's fine. But this is a fan channel. None of us are coaches. None of us are ex-managers. None of us are analysts. It just is fans talking about their team. And I'm not a fan that's going to sit here and say, we're a disgrace. We're going to lose everything. It's a shambles. This is never going to change. That's never going to change. Because if that was the case, I would stop being a fan. So that is all I'll say. And I'm not asking you to watch us. If you don't like the way we think, that's perfectly fine. But that's just how it is here, I'm afraid. Virginity taking machine. I love that thing. Says, would you take João Felix? Me personally, I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. I know Chelsea, there's all sorts of things going on at Chelsea at the minute. I mean, Chang, would you take João Felix? I think he's just not for me.
Ooh, this is a tough one for me to have to answer, honestly, because I actually do rate him. Although, whether he's a good fit for our squad, whether he's going to be a good fit for our handball style, if that still is to be the style to take us forward and win us silverware and trophies and honors. Right now, under Ange, no, I wouldn't take him. With his current attitude, with his everything that goes on around with him, João Felix, I wouldn't touch him either. But you never know. You never know what kind of a player he might turn up to be come his mid-20s, late 20s, when he's hitting his peak. But for me right now, honestly, I would rather keep Bryan Gil. I would rather honestly keep Bryan Gil than take João Felix. That's where I am with João Felix right now.
Yeah. Jim, any thoughts on João Felix?
No, not for me. That's all I want to say.
Bye, Armin. Shut the door on the way out. Thank you. What I will say is somebody. I didn't mean anyone in particular. I can see how that was put across. What I meant was some channels do have coaches on their streams, and that's fine. That's how they want to do it. Some channels do have different ways of doing it, but this is purely a fan channel. That's what I was trying to say. It wasn't a dig at anyone's channel before anyone tries to stir it. It was just to say this is purely a fan channel, and I refuse to be all doom and gloom. There are things that worry me. I think that the defence worries me a little bit, but like I say, we're going to try and look on the bright side of life because there's too much bad stuff going on in the world. David raises the point that Sonny's looking a little bit leggy again, and Kuva counteracted it, saying every year he's doubted and every year he scores bucket loads of goals. Jim, have you got any concerns about Sonny?
No, none whatsoever. He scored last season, was it 17 goals and 10 assists, if my memory serves me right. And that's from a guy people said were playing bad. Look, I don't care what anybody says, right? Sonny's a world-class player. He's one of the best players that's ever played in the Premier League. You know, he's very underrated by a lot of people. He's a phenomenal player. He does it year in, year out, year in, year out. Him and Kane broke every record there was possible. You know, I mean, what more do you say about him? He's a great ambassador for our club. He does no wrong on the pitch or off the pitch for me. If he has a bad game, he has a bad game. You know, he's got plenty of what's the word when they say in the bank? Plenty of credit in the bank.
Credit, yeah.
With me. He's just to me, he's just a phenomenal player. He had a bad season. Loads of people said it. Right, he scored 17 goals, Kay, and 10 assists. Mm-hmm. I mean, ain't that bad, is it? And that's playing through the middle, which isn't his position. You know, his position is on the wing. So he's going to be back there this season. So I reckon he's going to kick in this season and have a much better season.
Yeah. Chang, any concerns about our lovely Sonny?
The only concern I have is how to ease him out of the starting 11 when the time comes for him. That's going to be a very difficult thing for him to have to stomach. That's a very, very, very bitter pill for us Asian fans to have to come to terms with when the the single greatest Asian footballer of our generation is winding down, and I wouldn't say the end is near, sort of like it's his twilight call it his twilight, the swan song seasons for him. I just hope that he can maintain whatever form he had from last season, just maintain whatever goal scoring records or assists or the goals and assists, those statistics, even if he wasn't the Son that we knew from 3, 4, 5 seasons back under Pochettino, under Mourinho, even under Conte. I mean, he's given it his all. He still has a big role to play for us this season. Of that, I have absolutely no doubt. But beyond this season, I will be very reserved to see where his future lies with us. And that's not even talking about the contract extension. I'm not even bringing up his contract extension, which to my understanding hasn't even been triggered yet. There was a lot of talk that his contract will have been extended a further year beyond this season. That sadly hasn't happened yet. And he's running down the last 12 months of his contract now, much like Kane. So until I see something done on that, I think I'll just sit back and enjoy this final 12 months of Sonny at our club. And if nothing happens on the contractual side of the of his tenure at Spurs, whether he doesn't activate the clause or the club doesn't activate the clause, I'm just gonna enjoy this last season of Son, and I wish him all the very best for the season to come. I do hope. I really do hope. I mean, this is pipe dreams, but yeah, I really do hope he can find that golden boot winnings, that golden boot season form of his under Conte this year, and I just hope for a new partnership now to flourish between him and Solanke for the coming season.
Yeah.
I want to answer that question as well, Kate.
Which one?
From Vindaloo.
About getting attached.
Yeah. Right. Look, Vindaloo, there's not a club in the country that doesn't get attached to players, certain players. Arsenal were attached to Henry, so attached to him, he went off and then come back. It's just something that happens with certain players. I mean, look at Bergkamp. You can't tell me you weren't attached to him. As I said, Henry, he went and then come back again in the twilight of his career. So it's just something that happens in football. You can't help it. We was attached to Kane. He's gone. We've got over it. And at the minute, we're attached to Sonny. Not all the fan base, but I would say 80% of the fan base, because he's been so good for the club over the years, and he deserves to be attached to, as far as I'm concerned. He's got at least 1 or 2 seasons left in him, and we'll see this season at the end of it. But I'm sure that he's going to bang in 20 goals this season if he's back in his normal position.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you've said there. I mean, Paul G makes a fantastic point. It says Sonny's poor season is almost as good as Solanke's best in the Premier League. I'm just saying. Ian Meth just said what I was going to say. Sonny's not been the same since Kane has left. And I agree with what he said as well. Who would be? Their partnership was something you very rarely see in football. We've been so blessed. But I think that the disrespect that Sonny gets is quite unbelievable, because even when he's been poor, he still has delivered for Spurs. Exactly that. Pep changed his whole system to deal with Sonny last year. And now we've got to see, this is where pre-season comes in with Solanke. We've got now the target man. Can Son build that partnership again? I think he's never really built it with Richarlison, because Richarlison just simply isn't good enough, in my opinion. But we've got Solanke now. This is where pre-season would have come into it. We spoke briefly with Chang before coming on the air that it's another player that's signed without having any sort of pre-season to work that partnership out. But they will be working on it in the training ground. I mean, Chang, how do you feel about Solanke coming in? And also, do you see him maybe developing something with Sonny, or is Sonny sort of going to be the one we're moving out and trying to develop with the younger ones?
Okay, so Solanke. I'm just going to start by saying welcome to Solanke. I really wish that he did get a lot more preseason with us, seeing how we activated his buyout clause rather than try and haggle over his, his signing fee, as was the hallmark of DV and Enoch for many seasons prior to this. But for me, let's put it this way: he wasn't my first choice. I would still rather have Ivan Toney over him. But now that he's our player, welcome to the club, Dominic Solanke. I really hope you go out there and smash it. Will he justify that 65 million price tag? I think that is something that all of us are going to have to find out for ourselves firsthand come the start of this season. But I mean, if this is the kind of player that Big Ange wanted all along, and that he was already available for his buyout clause, the moment the transfer window opened, I still fail to see why we couldn't have signed him the moment he was available. The moment, sorry about that. The moment we realized that the cash was there for him. I really do hope he does bid in quickly. And I did realize I was comparing him with Mickey van der Ven, and the amount of time that they both had, or they were both going to have before before the start of the Premier League season. So hopefully, Dominic Solanke makes the most of the Monday night late kickoff away at Leicester City by getting a lot more game time with more training time with his new teammates. And I really wish him all the best of luck at Spurs, because with Richarlison out for the foreseeable future, there is no recognizable forward. I mean, you just have to look at those two friendlies against Bayern Munich. There was absolutely no one to aim for apart from Kulusevski, and even then, he still managed 2 goals. So if Dominic Solanke is as good, or if he's anywhere near as good as some of the Bournemouth fans are waxing lyrical about him, I really do hope that he can prove his weight with goals with us this season. And let's just sit back, enjoy, and see what Dominic Solanke has to offer this coming season for us.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Just before you say that, I've just got to say
that's funny.
One of my favourite comments of the day. Some Spurs fans would blame that Bissouma faux pas on Angie's system too. Yes, Jim, ask away.
Right, who's got the best front three now? Arsenal or Tottenham? So you got Kulusevski, you got Son, and you got Solanke, right? They've got
Jesus.
And Havertz. Jesus and Havertz.
Martinelli.
Solanke scored. Right, Saka's better than Kulusevski, I'll give him that, right? But Solanke scored, I think, just as many goals as Havertz and what's his name put together, Jesus. So it's which one's got the best front line now?
I still say Arsenal, because our wingers are shite. Sorry, Jim, but our wingers are terrible.
So you got Sonny back out on the wing now.
Yeah, we're going to have to see about the partnership. Werner's not great. Bissouma, I've got him in my brain. Johnson's pony. Kulu's dreadful on the wing. Richarlison's not great.
So I said to you, we give him Saka over Kulu, definitely. But for the front two now.
I'm not getting overexcited. I'm pleased.
I'm just saying, Kate. It's not looking too bad now. Not at all.
No, it's looking better. It is definitely looking better. But Arsenal have the better front three. But you cling on to hope there, Jimbo. You please cling on. See, look, everybody's agreeing that Arsenal edge it. That was a terrible example, Jimbo. Spurs front three is terrible. Yes, we've got Solanke now, but the rest of it looks really poor. But as we said, if Sonny can kick in doing what he used to do with Kane on the wing, then we'll see. But I mean, Jim, after you've made that absolute nightmare of a statement.
Well, hang on a minute. He scored 19 for Bournemouth, right? So he's got better players around him now. So by rights, he should be doing a lot better for Tottenham.
He should, but the wingers around him are terrible, Jim.
All right, well, let's see.
I think I'm going to have to give Jim a timeout for saying such a gormless statement. Right, there's your timeout, Jimbo. Come back and pretend you never said that and start again.
Well,
what do you think about Solanke?
No, I didn't say we had a better. I asked you, who do you think we have has got the better one? But we're much stronger now up front.
Who do you think's got a better one?
Well, I think it's going to be close. I do. I really think it's going to be close.
Well, we don't know. I will say we don't know. We haven't got a crystal ball, so we're wait and see. But are you pleased with Solanke?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. I think he's going to thrive underage. It's the type of football that he loves. So I think we've done well getting him. Yeah, I think he'd do well at Tottenham. Yeah,
I mean, for me, anyone that hasn't seen the video, I was bigging it up all over the place. There's a video out on 442 channel, and it's called "Why Solanke is the best signing Spurs have made in years," and it goes through every bit of analytical information of how he fits into the system. And it completely changed my view. I was a bit despondent, but this guy, if someone could make a striker to just walk in, it seems like it's Solanke. So I am excited. He never wins. I am excited to see what he can do, but the wingers still really do concern me because he's so good with his head. And yet we haven't got the wingers that can cross that ball in. I'm praying that there's going to be some crazy mad thing happen and we're going to sign someone like Mbeumo. That's who I'm hoping for the end of the season, get him from Brentford, because Brentford have just signed someone. But, I mean, Chang, do you think we're going to get anyone else in? Obviously, not only just before the first game, but before the window ends.
Well, if we do get Eze over the line in the next 3 weeks, that will be great business for us, although I can't see that happening now that we've already signed Solanke with the Eze money. So how about this? How about just a replacement for Bissouma? A replacement for Bissouma, assuming we don't have to find another replacement for Lo Celso. I don't think we are going to get a replacement right back now that Emerson Royal is all but gone to AC Milan. Judging from the way Big Ange deployed Jet Spence on Saturday against Bayern Munich, I am guessing that he is going to be the new Emerson Royal, who's going to be a backup for Pedro Porro. So I think, to be fair, maybe a loan signing, if there are any wingers out there, who is a lot better, who is an upgrade over Timo Werner. And even though he may only be a loan signing, yes, that is a kind of player which I will get. But otherwise, if we can even get one more in the next 3 weeks before the end of the transfer window, I will be very, very satisfied with this transfer window. Even though, we have not really plugged all the leaks in our squad, but at the very least, we have another striker now, other than Richarlison. So I'm just going to be content with that for now. But, we still have 3 weeks to go in the transfer window. So let's look and see what happens in the midfield and the defensive department.
Yeah, I mean, there is See, I would quite happily let Richarlison go if we could get the money in, because we've got Dominic Solanke now. We've got Mikey Moore, who I think is ready. I know he's young, but I think he's ready. And we've got Kulu, who I think is a completely different player as a false nine. I think he looks dangerous. He looks so strong. So I would still let Richarlison go. But Jimbo, do you think anyone will be coming in for the end of the window?
Yeah, definitely. I think two more will be in.
What positions do you fancy?
I think they will bring another winger in. And I keep reading about a right back. I don't know why, because it looks like
It's a left back we need.
Uh,
It's a left back we need.
Yeah. But maybe a left back. But I definitely think there'll be another two coming in. And I still think that Eze might be coming in.
I think there's more chance of me flying to the moon, coming back, and then flying back again than there is of Eze coming in. But I hope you're right. I do think we desperately need a winger. And Vindaloo, you're exactly right. We need a decent DM. But everyone tells me Ange doesn't play with one, but we're lacking one massively. In my opinion, we need a Moussa Dembele type. Yeah, Wanyama and Dembele, exactly. We need a real strong defensive midfielder that can keep the ball. You know, for me, we're missing that so bad. If you have time, could each of you tell me who you want to be on free in midfield? Is this for the Leicester game, I assume? I'll go first. I'm going to put in midfield Bergvall, Bentancur, and Gray. No, I'm not. I'm going to put Bergvall, Sarr, and Bentancur, and then bring Gray on, I think. Jimbo, who you
Well, I think that Solanke coming is going to give Madders a new lease of life because they're quite good friends. So I'm going to go Madders. I think you need Bentancur in there because he gets stuck in, and alternate Gray and Bergvall.
Okay.
Bergvall. But I think Madders is nailed on at the minute, especially now Solanke's coming. I think he'll be starting.
I'd have Bergvall over him all day long. Chang, are you sticking with Madders or someone different? Is he frozen or is he just really deep in thought? I think he's frozen. I thought he was really.
Am I back?
You're back. You're back.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So yeah, sorry about that. James Maddison. I think I would keep him on the bench and see how it goes with our midfield trio of Pape Matar, Bergvall, and possibly one of either Archie Gray or Oliver Skip. If things aren't going too well with one of those three midfielders, then yes, we have Madison to call upon from the bench, but it's going to be interesting to see who Big Ange selects for the midfield on Monday nights against Leicester City. But I think it's a good problem to have, if I can say that way, about our midfield. I think it's time for a lot of these players to step up and be counted for. Now that preseason is all but over, you could say that the honeymoon period is officially over, and time to get down to business. Time for the midfielders, whoever they may be, whether you are, Archie Gray or Oliver Skip, even Madison himself, who is part of the leadership group. It's time for these players to step up, and I really do hope for the midfield to gel quickly. Now that we're going to be one midfielder short with Bissouma looking to be on his way out after we've already sold Højbjerg. But you know what? We still have about a week to go. We still have about 7 days from now before the opening game against Leicester. So let's just hope and wait for the best in our midfield selection come next Monday.
Yeah, I saw Anthony say you're mad to leave Madders out. I would start Bergvall and bring him off the bench if it's not working. I think Madders just looks a shadow of himself at the minute. Vindaloo says, I hate to say it because I think Vicario's a decent shot stopper, but Angie's system needs a keeper with good distribution and someone who commands the box. A few people have been saying that.
Do you know what, Kay? I thought just on there, I thought last year he did quite well on the distribution, but in pre-season he looked a bit shaky. So maybe it's because they're chopping and changing. The defence has not been. We've not had a fixed defence, have we? Because of the guys who was at the Euros. But maybe he'll get back to his normal self once he's got.
And he was adapting to the Premier League as well.
Yeah. But I didn't think he did too bad last year on his distribution. But he looks shaky in pre-season. But once he's got VDB and Kuti and your doggy and Porro as his regular back four again, then maybe it'll be better.
I still wouldn't be surprised if Skip goes before the window closes. I kind of hope he does. He's not good enough for me. We've got a couple of questions as well, if I can find them. AJ says, of the youngsters we have, who and in what order do you think will have the most impact for us this season? For me, it's Bergvall, Moore and Gray in that order. Jim?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with AJ. It would be them three for me. And I'd love to see Lancashire start some games as well. Because I think
there's rumours he's going on loan.
Oh, he's there?
Yeah,
I'd love to see him stay and start some games, even if it's only the cup games. But I think he's going to end up a big player for Spurs in the next few years.
Chang, what about you as far as the youngsters go? Who do you think is going to have the most impact?
The one that I would definitely say has the biggest impact or will have the biggest impact for us is going to be Bergvall. I think I've seen enough of him in preseason to know that he's going to be one of our starting players. But apart from Bergvall, I mean, the jury is still out, to be honest with you, on the likes of Archie Gray, Mikey Moore, Alfie Devine, even Lancashire. I really do hope Mikey Moore lives up to his reputation. And if you've seen his social media, I mean, when this show is over, you really need to hop over to his Twitter and read all those messages that he's had to say about him signing his first professional contract at the age of 17. I really am expecting big things from him this coming season. But yeah, I think it's going to be Bergvall, Mikey Moore, and Archie Gray. Those will be my top three youngsters who will really improve and shine this season.
Yeah, I think mine would be Bergvall first, then Gray, then Moore. I don't think Moore's going to get that much game time. I think he will be in the squad and get some, but I don't see him. I think Angie's got to treat him with kid gloves to a certain extent. If he chucks him straight in and it's a bit of a disaster, it could knock him backwards so bad. So, but I think Bergvall looks like he's going to be excellent. I think Gray, we'll see. He's shown glimpses of what he can do, and the Leeds fans are all absolutely devastated that he's gone. So that's a good sign. And then we've got Moore.
He's got a lot of experience with youngsters, and Ange. So I'm sure he knows what he's doing, and he'll know how to integrate them.
Yeah, big up Steve D, been a member for 9 months. Could have had a baby in that time. There you go. Harmless Potato says it's between Bergvall and Gray for me. I can see both getting lots of game time. Bergvall playing in a more advanced position might have a slightly bigger impact. That's how I see it as well. I would give those three game time. I'm not sure about any of the others. I like Tyrese Hall. I thought he was excellent in the QPR game. I think Alfie Devine, there's an argument for him. Lancashire, there's an argument for him. I just don't particularly see any of those. Maybe Donnelly, possibly, coming into the team. I just think there's such a big step up. I don't want to put all our dreams and hopes on the heads of
it's kids. It's not about putting your dreams and hopes on them, Kate. It's about Ange doing the right thing with them and bringing them through in the right way, you know, and like you said, not throwing them in at the deep end. But, do you know what? It doesn't matter what age you are. If you can play the game and you're ready, that's it.
Yeah, if you're good enough, you're old enough, as they say. Dan Davenport says, I'm surprised we haven't looked at Guy. There was rumours that if Romero went to Real Madrid, we were going to go for him. But I think at the minute, that's the reason why. I think Newcastle will probably try and get their man.
But they've just put a third bid in for him.
Yeah, they seem jet set on getting him, and I think he's an excellent player. So I think we'll have to miss out on that one. Joey says, I've got a question. We spent 100 million on Gray and Solanke. Was there a better way to spend that money? Who wants to take this one, Jimbo?
Well, I mean, striker-wise, it's very hard out there for striker-wise to get top strikers in. And last season, he was a top striker in the Premier League. So I don't think we've done bad there. And me personally, I really like Gray. I think he's going to be a big player for us. So when you look at 60-40, you know, I mean, you tell us, Joey, what do you think? And who do you think we should have got instead of them? If that's what you think. I don't know if you do think that, but I mean, I'm not disappointed with them two, not at all.
But they're both homegrown as well. We've got to remember that's what the English tag.
You're always going to play a little bit more for Solanke because of the good season he had, because he's English, because he's Prem proven. You're always going to play a bit over the top.
And because Bournemouth didn't have to sell him, they didn't need to sell him. Chang, do you think we've spent the money well? Would you have preferred different players? What's your thoughts?
I think we spent the money well, given how, you know, we've been spending wisely, I hope. Archie Gray and Solanke. But though it's the timing of the spending really that gets to me, though, especially with Solanke. I mean, before the show started, I did speak at length as to why didn't we get Solanke the moment the transfer window was open, if we were always, you know, planning to pay the release clause. And if the money was there from the beginning, we didn't have to rely on the sale of Højbjerg, on you know, the sale of Joe Rodon to Leeds, before we were given the green light that we couldn't get players like Ivan Toney or Eze or even Ollie Watkins. That Dominic Solanke is the only viable option. I think the timing of his signing doesn't really bode well for me with regards to our planning, if there is any planning at all in the timing of these signings. But for the players that we signed and the price that we paid for them, I think it's a fair return of our investment, given how we really, really, really needed a second striker. If Richarlison is on his way out, even if he's going to, you know, the Middle East to Saudi Arabia. But I can't speak too much about whether any of these signings will come good for us, because a lot of them still haven't proven their worth to me yet. That includes Archie Gray, and for Dominic Solanke, I think I mentioned earlier that he still has a lot to prove. I mean, come to think about it, Brennan Johnson still hasn't even justified his 45 million odd pounds from last season. So there is no absolute certainty that we will see Dominic Solanke justify his 65 million pound signing price tag. But here's hoping, as always, being a Spurs fan, that these players, they will come good in due time. But for the time being, we just have to make do with we have, and let's just see what comes our way in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, Vindaloo's asking what would be a good season for you. I'm going top 6, top 7, and a cup. That's what I want this season. Jimbo?
A good season for us. Winning the Prem, winning the European competition, winning the FA Cup, and winning the Carabao Cup. That'd be a great season for us.
Yeah, but seriously, what would be a good season for us?
I think we need to improve. I think we need to improve on last year, and which I think we will do. I think we'll get top 4 and definitely a trophy.
Okay, Chang.
I've got this feeling. Sorry, I've got this feeling. I got this feeling we're going to win 2 trophies this year.
Oh no!
I do.
Is that the Audi Cup and the Tiger Cup?
I'm not even going to answer that.
Chang, what about you?
Okay, for me, if we can even maintain 5th from last season, that would be a good starting point. Although I still am secretly hoping we can make 4th this season. I was hoping that we could have made 4th last season, even before our opening game, despite us, just only selling Harry Kane a few days prior to me making my prediction. I really still am hoping for us to get 4th this season. Although getting top 5, maintaining our top 5 from last season wouldn't be, the worst possible thing to happen to us. So I really do hope we maintain our top 5 finish, and I would really, really love to have a domestic cup more than anything else. I couldn't care less if it's the Carling Cup or the League Cup or the FA Cup, whatever cup it is. I really, really do hope this is the season that we finally break our barren drought after so many years without silverware. But top 4 and a good cup run, whether it's in the Europa League or the domestic cup, it will be a good season for me.
See, I don't care about the top 4.
Well, I just hope.
Cup.
Yeah, so I really do. I really, really, really do hope that we get top 4. But let's just. We just have to wait and see how I think the first few weeks are going to be very telling as to where we're going to end of the season. And I will still maintain my top 5 prediction. I will really live for top 4, and getting a domestic cup isn't beyond the realms of possibility.
Yep, I agree. For me, that's the priority this year. If it means we finish 7th or 8th, but we've won a trophy, I'll take that all day long. I didn't watch Arsenal. However, Arsenal are looking very scary in pre-season. They brushed aside Leverkusen. They brushed aside Lyon. This actually could be your year. I'm not too proud to say it. I think Arsenal look very, very, very good this year. Ronnie said that for the Leicester game, he would play Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udogie, then Bergvall, Bentancur, Madders, with Kulu, Solanke and Son up front. I would have Werner up front instead of Kulu. And I would take Madders out and put in Sarr. I think they're the only changes I've made. Jim, what are you thinking of that lineup?
I think Ronnie's got it spot on. I think that'd be the starting 11.
Wow. Mr. Chang?
I'm trying to... this is a tough one to try and pick apart. I think you got it right with Madison. I don't think he's ready to start just yet, given the way he's been performing throughout preseason. I think the top 3 is pretty much nailed on, although again, it's going to be a toss-up. I think it's going to be a toss-up between Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson to see who partners Son and Solanke up front. Although I would say for Kulusevski, those 2 goals against Bayern Munich on Saturday did him a world of good. It certainly gave him the confidence, and hopefully there was something in those 2 goals that Big Ange liked and has increased his chances to start over Brennan Johnson, whom I feel is still merely just an impact super sub for us. So yeah, I think the top 3 is pretty much nailed on: Kulusevski, Dominic Solanke, and Son Heung-min. Our midfield is the one that I think I touched upon earlier. I would still rather see, Skip or Archie Gray over Madison, and maybe
putting Sarr in. Is
Sarr. Correct.
Yeah.
Pape Matar Sarr. Apologies. Pape Matar Sarr and Bentancur as our holding midfielders, and maybe put Bergvall in the Madison role. And for the back four, I think the back four is the back four, unless Udogie still isn't fully fit yet to last the entire 90, in which I would actually try and put Jet Spence there. I don't think Ben Davies can afford to start another league game for us. Honestly, I honestly cannot see Ben Davies starting another league game for us unless there's absolutely no other choice. Where it's just it's just I would even have skipped. I would actually have skipped at left back rather than Ben Davies. So yeah, I think the back four is pretty much the back four unless Udogie isn't fit, in which then I would try and put Jet Spence there in left back.
Yeah, I agree. Anthony says, don't say we're winning the league. Every time you say it, we don't win it. It's nothing to do with me. It's to do with your team, I'm afraid. Big up Tigaro. Thanks for the super chat. Says, forget the ins. What are our next outs? I'm thinking Skip, who's already been offered to Wolves, Solomon, Lo Celso and Reguilon. I personally, before the end of the window, I see Lo Celso, Reguilon and possibly Skip going. I don't see Solomon going, but I'm probably completely wrong and he'll be the one that goes. Chang, do you see anyone going out before the end of the window?
Emerson Royal has already gone. Skip might be our new Harry Winks, in which he has had more than ample time to prove his worth, like Winks before him. So I think the clock is definitely ticking on Oliver Skip and his time at Spurs. If we can get someone to replace him in terms of the homegrown quota. That requirements, he might be the next to leave as well. Solomon, I think, might get another season just to see if there's anything at all there. But I think Reguilon might be the next one on his way out. Zero game time at all preseason. He's going to be following Bryan Hill out as well, I hope. But there's one player in that list right here, Lo Celso. If Bissouma is on his way out, I think we might have to just hold on to Lo Celso for a little while, even though Lo Celso didn't get any game time at all with us the whole of our preseason. We might still have to call upon him. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all our ins and outs for this transfer window. And you never know if we might actually get a good price for Ben Davies. He could be another player on his way out as well, because for him to even last 10 seasons with us, Benjamin Davies 10 seasons with us, longer than Harry Kane. Wow, I would never have thought that at all.
No.
At the beginning of last season. So yeah, I think that might be another player that might be on his way out if we can, do a deal for him. Although he's not the worst player to have on our books. We've had worse, Bissouma, I'm looking at you. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all our outgoings and incomings this season.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Rinketic says, would you take Sterling?
No.
No, nor me.
No.
Chang, would you? To be fair, he probably is better than what we've got.
Okay, let me just put it this way. I would take Sterling over Timo Werner.
See, I'd take Sterling over Johnson all day long.
Wow.
I don't like Johnson.
For me, the logic is here. My reasoning is that if I had to choose between Sterling and Timo Werner, at the very least, Sterling fits the homegrown quota, or rather he fills the homegrown quota. Timo Werner doesn't. And that for me is the tipping point between the two of them, Sterling and Werner.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I think Sterling's probably better than what we've got on our wingers. Just they worry me. I kind of agree. I don't think Chelsea, it's just chaos there at Chelsea. I don't see them finishing above us. Man United, I think, are a different story. I think they've done some good business. And Liverpool, if they get Zubimendi, that changes them as well. I think that gives them a big edge. Sai says he'd keep Solomon, Ange will be gone by Christmas. A lot of people saying this. Saying this. You okay? Yeah. Oh, if Winks scores against us, that'll be horrendous. Richie brings chaos, but he brings the shithousery. But I would rather see him leave. Sorry, Smithy. Chelsea have got 45 players. I think you missed a zero off the end. It's about 450, I think. It's been absolute bedlam there. I don't know what they're doing. Literally, they seem to be buying every single possible person. Anthony thinks Chelsea will finish top 4. I don't at all. I'm not going to say my top 4 because we're doing it Wednesday on a special prediction show, but I don't see Chelsea in the top 4. AJ says Chelsea have billions of players and an average manager. Chaos. Agreed. Afternoon early doors football. Hope you're well. A question I'm going to ask before the last part of the show really is: are we ready for the new season? Do you think we're ready to go? Jim, are you worried that we haven't got the players in time? I mean, how do you feel? Do you think we're ready to go?
I'm not worried at all. Not worried at all, Kate. No, I'm sure Ange's got them ready. You know, if we get a couple more in, so we've got a stronger bench as well. Will be nicer. But even if we go with what we got, I'm not worried.
So you think we're ready?
I think Ange have them ready. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Chang, are we ready?
We are 1 week away from being ready. We would be ready. We would be ready if we had given Dominic Solanke a proper preseason with us. Now, I'm not too sure. Honestly, I'm not too sure about that.
Chang, he had a preseason with Bournemouth, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
but not with us.
Yeah, but he had a preseason. He's played preseason games, so he's got his fitness up, and he's going to be in good shape. It's just and the system's not too different, Bournemouth and Tottenham, so it's just a matter of him adjusting to our players. So I think he'll be ready. Sorry,
okay, I really do hope so. I really do hope so that he will be ready in 7 days' time on a Monday night over at Leicester.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're ready? I think we could do with another 2 pre-season games to get ready and another couple of signings. But you know what? It's Tottenham. It's the hope that kills us. We've just got to go with it and see what occurs. There could be another signing coming this week. Who knows? Solanke seemed to happen quick. I know they were saying it's been sorted for a while now, but please just bring in a nice winger and a DM and I'll be happy. But like I say, whether we're ready or not, we can't delay the start of the season. It's coming. It's 1 week today. We'll be lining up to play Leicester. So I can't wait. I just literally can't wait. And I said to my sister, who does not like football at all, I said, this is what I'm like every season. I can't wait. The hopes, the dreams. And by March, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for this season to end. So I'm hoping it won't be like that this year. And that we already have a trophy. Don't you look up to heaven, Jim? I saw that. I'm being honest. I hope that this year.
You know what, Kate? Kate, you know what, right? Why are we worrying over something we've got no control of? Just be positive that Ange knows what he's doing. The players are fit, and we're ready to go. You know, there's going to be more signings coming in. I'm so sure of that. I'm not saying it's going to be before Monday, right? But I think by the end of the window there'll be a couple of more players in. We're looking a lot better, a lot stronger than we was last season. I've heard people say we're not stronger than last season. You're joking. Of course we're stronger than last season. Solanke, Bergville, Gray, with some of these youngsters, you know, have shown what they can do. We're stronger than last season without any doubt. And if you think that worrying about it, it's just not going to. It's not going to change anything. You just got to be positive and believe that the club know what they're doing, you know, or Ange knows what he's doing. So
yeah, there is that. And he says, I wish my missus was into football like you. We would have more to chat about. Jimbo's a lucky man. Yes, he is. I guess meeting me at the Tottenham game, he knew from that moment I was going to be into football. So What was you going to say, Jim?
Yeah, well, we met at Tottenham, so we've been lucky, and we both love the club. You know, I'm a bit more positive than you, but I suppose that's what balances it out on our football.
Exactly. Shem says, does Ange know what he's doing though, Jimbo? We look exactly the same as last season with tactics and system and so easy to play through.
Yeah, but this is what I said earlier, Sham. It's pre-season, it's the chopping and changing. Like they change 7 or 8 players a game. It's very hard for them to get into a rhythm. And look, the core of the players are the ones who played together last season, right? And it's going to be the same back line. You know, there's going to be a little bit of difference in midfield. We got Solanke out front, which makes us stronger. And I think that's going to help Richie as well, because he's not going to be under so much pressure and not going to have to play so much and get injured, right? Because he is a bit injury prone. So it's going to help him out as well. I think just the few tweaks he needs to make, I think he would have learned from last season, and he'll do it against certain teams. I'm very positive. I feel very, very positive.
Yeah. Listen, we're back. Our pre-season, no, that's not what I want to say. Our Premier League previews start again this Friday, and then obviously we do the recap the following week. Tomorrow, me and Amelia are back for Queries and Theories. Completely not football at all, something a little bit different. Before the start of the season. Wednesday, we've got a special show where we'll be predicting who wins the league, who's the top 4, who wins all the cups, and seeing how that goes. We've got some other YouTubers that have sent in videos for that.
Can I answer this?
Yeah, Jimbo, to make your squad stronger, you need players that are as good as your first 11. Yeah, answer away.
Yeah, we brought Solanke in. He's going to make a massive difference up front. I'm convinced of that. We've got these youngsters, you know. I don't think if you've been watching Tottenham, Anthony, I don't know how you think the Bergville and Gray are not going to make us that bit better in midfield. They're hungry, you know. They both look technically good. They're fit, you know, and we need fit players the way the system he plays. I think we are stronger. I do, honestly. I think we're stronger, and I think they're going to make a difference.
Yeah,
you know, I know. There's probably 50% of the fan base are going to disagree with me, but the only thing that's going to prove it is time. I believe that we're going to be going into the league a lot stronger, and a different mentality with these youngsters as well. Their mentality is they want to prove themselves, they want to win.
Yeah. Special thank you, Tigaro, very generous today, gifting 5 memberships, as well as Kuba, who gifted 5. Absolute legends. David Shear, member for 8 months, Steve D, member for 9 months, and Tigaro with a super chat as well. Thank you so much. It all helps our little channel. Dan E's coming late saying, sadly, nothing's changed. Still zonal, still, what is that? Left wing back, still centre back on halfway line. We're just going to carry on from last season without the 25 points in 10 games. I do love a bit of positivity to end the show. We might as well all just pack up and not watch Spurs anymore, because it's exactly the same as last
year. You do realize, sorry, Miss Kate, you do realize that 25 points from 10 games means that we will need to win 8 and draw 1 from those 10 games. So 25 games from if we do get 25 points from 10 games, opening 10 games, I would gladly take that now, because it will mean that we have won 8, drawn 1, and lost 1 of our first 10 games. That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Whatever Jim's drinking, I need it for the Leicester game. Look, I've got my concerns. However, I still haven't got a crystal ball. I don't know whether anything's going to change. I don't know whether we're going to be an absolute nightmare next against Leicester and whoever else. I'm just choosing to think maybe this is the season Ange tweaks. History tells us that it is. I'm looking forward to see Solanke play and see what he can do. And we'll see. But as I say, we're back tomorrow from 12 for Queries and Theories. If you want to watch football, don't watch that, because it's nothing to do with football. It's literally a bit of fun, bit of conspiracy theory chat. Chang, thank you so much for coming on. Can't wait to see you again on Friday for the Premier League predictions. Great to be back and have the team back together, ready for the new season. Hey, when are you next on, Chang?
I have nothing for the foreseeable future because I haven't worked out with Miss Ash Patmaraj when we'll be doing something else together now that she's got internet over in India. But yeah, I think the only thing I have left for certain is Friday. I really can't wait for the prediction show on Friday before the late Friday night kickoff between United and Fulham, I think.
Yeah.
That will be the game to look forward to on Friday. But yeah, I cannot wait for Friday.
The next recap will be next Tuesday, not Monday, because Tottenham don't play till Monday night. So we'll do it on Tuesday. Jimbo, thanks for coming on, as always. I don't even need to thank you, do I?
Thanks for having me.
Jim might be back tomorrow hosting Queries and Theories. Depends if he behaves himself, whether he gets invited or not. Please, everyone, make sure you smash a like on the way out. It really helps the channel. And yeah, as AJ says, Jim, take us out the only way you can.
All you Spurs
Come on, you Spurs.
All you Spurs fans, get behind the team because fucking trophies are coming. Come on, you Spurs.